Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Super Game Brothers podcast. This is episode number 41 of our weekly board game and video game podcast. My name is David, and I'm joined by Devin.
Oh, hey.
Devin, how are you? I went right to you real fast today.
That's crazy. I'm doing fantastic, and I noticed you said it was number 41.
It is.
I knew what you did there.
I skipped 40.
Yeah. You did skip 40,
Yeah.
but it'll be there.
Yeah. No, we don't miss weeks here on Super Game Brothers usually. But last week, I was super sick, and you'll probably hear throughout this episode, I have a terrible cough as leftover. And so I have episode 40 planned out, the documents ready, and I meant to film it myself like 5-6 days ago, but I can't stop coughing. So I haven't filmed it yet, but it will be there. It'll just be a little bit late. I'm going to talk about my favorite board games that I played in 2024. So, is another kind of holiday episode where there's no news going on. So I'm going to backfill it hopefully in the next few days. But anyway, so this is episode 41, which is in some weird future where the number 40 does not exist, but then it will exist later. But yeah, Devin, we confronted that problem right up front. So we're all good.
We figured it out, yes, sir.
So how are you doing now in 2025? Did you figure out all of life's solutions here in the new year?
I didn't make any resolutions. Maybe I should.
I made one.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's kind of out of necessity. I have to take a very expensive medication, and my wife and I have like a few financial things we're planning for in the future. And so, one of my goals this year is to spend like zero money.
Oh, nice. I've had a couple people tell me that. Good job.
Very hard. We're also like trying to stay within our budget and like groceries is just freaking out of control. I can't believe how much they cost. When Lacey and I were first married, I'm pretty sure our budget for groceries was like $200 a month.
And would you say that's quadrupled?
Oh, more than that. I bet it's like 6 times. What's this? It's sextupled.
I'll bet your income has sextupled as well.
No. It's well, the hard part was when we were first married, Lacey and I were both working. So now with just my salary, our salary probably tripled about, but not the sextuple you're looking for. These are not the sextuples you're looking for.
No, not a chance.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's one of my goals. So I haven't bought anything this year so far. And we're selling like some extra stuff that we have just sitting around. Haven't bought any board games, which is a weird occurrence for me.
That is.
I haven't bought any video games either. I'm like way stressed because there's a few I want to play. We're going to talk about them later in the show. Luckily, I have $20 in my PlayStation Network wallet. So we do have a little bit of money budgeted for like the podcast and for entertainment. We have like $100 or $200 a month, but just trying to be as close to zero as possible so that when there are things that come up, I don't like a big $70 video game I want to play, then I've got room in the budget. But anyways, that's kind of priority number 1 here at the Bailey household. My shot. I have an intestinal chronic disease. So my shot is I think I have to take it once every 8 weeks. One injection is $25,000. So, really cheap.
Light work, no reaction.
Yeah. Insurance.
That's outrageous.
Oh, yeah, it's a joke. And it's like this. It comes in this. I mean, when you get board games, they come in Ziploc with like dozens of Ziploc baggies, right? Mm-hmm. Picture one of these, but like 5 times as big. That has 2 little cardboard boxes in it, with like 2 vials this big of medicine and 1 needle. Well, I guess needle's not the right word. Syringe. And I put the syringe in, the 2 vials, suck out the medicine, and then Lacey stabs me in the leg with it. $25,000, baby.
Do you reuse the vial? Is the vial cool looking?
No, it's just like a tiny, like our cousin's like insulin vials. They kind of look like
Those are
those.
kind of cool. You could repurpose them.
Maybe. I feel like I'd get arrested. But
Well, you could.
what are you putting in there? Syrup?
No. You put sand in them from every special place that you go, and then you put it on a necklace.
Oh, wow. Sell them on Etsy for billions of dollars.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, we solved it.
Mm-hmm. I finished one of my Shilajit vials, and I spent probably 20 minutes boiled water inside of it, and then used like glue gun, whatever it is, to get any adhesive off of it.
Right.
And now it's a little supplement container. I repurposed it, sold it on Etsy for billions.
Wow. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with $1 billion, but actually I do, Devin. I've got just the business opportunity for the newfound billionaire. As you know, I'm really into golf right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just got a new golf bag, which means I'm now a pro. No, but I don't know. I went really far down this rabbit hole a few days ago. Right, the first week where I've decided I'm not going to spend any money. For some reason, this is the rabbit hole I've decided to go down. So let's go over to the screen real quick. Devin, I want to open a golf simulator shop with a few different bays. And you charge people to come play, like Topgolf, but smaller, with a much nicer simulator. Check out this bad boy. This is called the Golf Zone Twin Vision, and they have a new version called the Twin Vision NX, I think. But so you picture this big projector screen in front of you, but then you are playing on. There's two devices as well that have cameras like above you with a projector projecting. This is like a big touchscreen monitor kiosk, it says. And then I think there's also one behind you. So you can like touch the screen and whatever. Tells you everything about your golf swing in like crazy detail. Here are some of the key features of the Golf Zone Twin Vision NX.
Oh my.
You got the motion and pressure plate. So the floor you stand on has, I think, 6 different grass types. You got like fairway, so my ball would never be there. You got the short rough, the long rough, the fairway bunker, and the greenside bunker, all on different types of turf here. So you can put the ball there to represent those different shots. That ground also moves and lifts in order to represent like your lie. So if you're on a slope, then the spot you're standing on drops. The spot where the ball is raises to represent that. Very cool. Got these high-speed camera sensors. So after every shot, it will show you top down, front on, and like right at your club, like slow motion of where you hit. So you can see where on the face your ball, like you were hitting the ball. And then it tells you all these data points like the club speed and the ball speed and ball rotation. And rotation's crazy. It's like 2,500 rotations a minute. Or a second, excuse me, a minute. And so they'll tell you like all these details so you can like really dial in your stuff. This is a cool one. After the ball hits the projector, the ground is like sloped a little bit. And so the ball like rolls back into this slot on the device. And then after you swing, the tee comes back up with another ball on it ready.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you don't have to re-tee your ball. So cool. You can also putt. Helps you line up your putts and has like this little LED light on there. So you know like where you're aiming is if you had a caddy with you. It's like, oh, it's right outside the left cup. Because those are caddy words.
Absolutely.
Runs on Unreal Engine 5.
I do like that.
And there's a bunch of different types of practice you can do. You can like do the range or I think like approach practice. And they have putting practice, and all of it will sync to your app on your phone. So you can like see your data. I love data. You can like click on the kiosk and say, ooh, I saw my swing replay. Send that one to my phone because I want to like show that to my coach or like whatever. Practice that. Very cool. And then they have 240 real golf courses in there that you can play on as well. And that would be super fun to play those. That's what we do at Top Golf when we go, is we play the real courses. They only have 4 courses.
Oh yeah, this is tremendously higher.
Yeah, so substantially more.
Substantially is a better word.
I like tremendously.
I'm limited to like 6 descriptive words, so I'll be using them.
Anyway, so my idea is you buy like a warehouse somewhere, and you get like 4 or 5 these bad boys. You have to have a little bit of space, put them in, and then you sell memberships to your cool new super advanced simulator. And people, once they have a membership, they get like a key fob or something, and they can come play. They can book a time and then come play 24/7. You can play at 1 in the morning. And so then hopefully you make some of your money back.
It is a good idea, because I imagine you could charge a decent amount, because it's basically like having a golf trainer.
Right.
It's like the software is teaching you things and showing you where your mistakes are.
Yeah.
So not only are you getting to play the game, you're learning, you're improving. There's air conditioning. You
can do it in the winter.
And you get a cool key fob.
And you get the cool key fob. I could like sell refreshments, nachos, whatever somebody wants to eat there.
Yeah.
That's my next business opportunity for you. For the grand low price of $45,000 per simulator. Yeah. Sounds like a bargain, right? So
yeah, it does.
If I had unlimited money, I would have one of these in my house. But if I had a little bit less than unlimited money, I would open a golf simulator thing like this. I think that would be super fun. Then you yourself would get unlimited free practice and hopefully make like a killing from this business venture. That's kind of I won't be able to do it because I have $45 to my name, not 400 or 45,000, excuse me. So, anyways, those are cool. I didn't know one that fancy exists though. Like the amount of data, and like I watched some videos and they're like very like accurate with stuff, like very, very cool. I'm not great at golf yet, but I really want to get into it and get better. So I wish I had something like this, because just going to like the range or even Top Golf and just swinging a bunch, it's hard to even self-diagnose. Like, was that swing better than the last one? I have no idea.
Oh yeah. I never know anything.
I've like read there are some ways you can get some feedback. Like you can dry erase on the ball, like with a dry erase marker.
Oh.
Then when you hit it, you can kind of see like where it hit your golf club. I'm like, then I gotta mark every single ball that I swing at.
That is true, yeah.
Or I don't know. You can get all kinds of like dumb little things, but this thing would be able to tell you like everything about your swing. So the rich get richer and the rich get better at golf.
What a great idea.
Yeah. But David does not get better at golf. So excuse me, my cough. But anyways, that was my sometimes I just have to go on like a little fantasy ride, like, ooh, what would it be like if I had an extra $2 million that I could do whatever I wanted with? That's what I would do today.
I wonder what I would do with $2 million. I think I'd be so scared to do anything with it. I'd have to like reach out to somebody that knew.
That's true. That would probably be smarter.
I don't think I'd touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because next thing I know, I'm pulling a Porsche into my driveway, and then probably not the best idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
But can you rent the Porsche? And you could tell people they could drive the Porsche to your golf simulator place. Charge them a premium.
I was thinking with those new vials that we're going to sell on Etsy, we could like we could make little barrel vials and barrel age some golf tees for a couple years in the barrels in whiskey. And then they just work so much better. It's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like legit science.
Speaking of barrels, I went and saw Nosferatu.
Oh, did you?
I sure did. I had a barrel of popcorn in my lap.
Nice. Really quick before you tell me about that, I got an ad on my phone today for Cinemark. I guess in like a week, they're having this bring your own barrel, or not barrel, bring your own bucket day, and whatever size thing you bring, they'll fill it with popcorn for $5. I'm like,
size?
I think there is some limit, but it was a big limit.
Oh shoot! You know I'm.
You get like a triple popcorn. Anyways, how was Nosferatu?
I don't think it's for everyone. It's very. This sounds so dumb, but I feel like it's like that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I was legitimately gonna say poetic or artsy. It's very.
That's the vibe I got from the trailers.
It is. It's very artsy, limited color in a lot of scenes. I would say maybe I don't want to say inappropriate, but a little sensual at times. Maybe not for every audience, but very, very interesting. I won't spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it. I really enjoyed it. I was hooked. Like,
who plays the vampire dude?
One of the Skarsgård.
I was gonna say, is it the It guy? Pennywise dude?
I feel like it might be someone related to him.
I feel like they're in everything. Is their dad the Harkonnen guy from Dune? I don't know. I feel like they're all like the weird characters and everything.
They are. They're always in like these psychological, very strange. I don't even know what the genre would be called, but they're in weird movies. And I kind of like the type of movies they're in. Like, did you ever see Saltburn?
I haven't seen Saltburn. I think that one's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a crazy genre. I don't even know how to explain it.
That actor though, the one that's in like The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yes,
he's very odd, but he's always like intriguing to watch.
Yeah, he's fun to look at. I don't know why. It's like just interesting. Yeah, that movie was a bit intense. Sometimes I don't read about what I'm about to watch, and but it was entertaining, I guess.
That's funny. No, Nosferatu seems cool, so I want to watch that one. We watched a few things over the break, Devin, as well. Last night we watched A Quiet Place Day 1. I thought it was good. That's probably my review. It was good. I like the two main actors in the movie, both great. But I thought like the plot was good. I don't know.
It's a good take.
Yeah. There wasn't like any amazing standout parts with like the aliens even. That one part where they're like in the subway, like underwater, and the things like, I don't know, down there with them was kind of cool. And like seeing what they eat was kind of cool. But other than that, it's like, yeah, it was good.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this because I don't remember either of those moments.
Well, it's because it was just fine. Watched a lot of Wicked over the last 10 days. My wife is obsessed with it, and I've seen it 2 or 3 times now. Very excellent music. Right. And I think Cynthia, what's her name? Envero? I can't remember her last name. She's amazing that plays Elphaba. Like, such a good singer. Incredible. And then Ariana Grande is also incredible. So both of them are just like crazy to watch. What was I going to say about Wicked? Oh, really appreciate what they did with it, filming both parts at the same time. Reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Huh?
Both parts, Wicked, that's only the first half of the movie.
It's all ready to go. They just gave us half.
Correct. It's probably in post-production where they're doing CGI and stuff, but it's a filmed. Much like they did with Lord of the Rings. Film the whole thing and then release each movie 1 year after the next. The next one comes out.
I'm pretending like I knew that, yeah.
Wicked for Good, which is part 2, comes out Thanksgiving. So only like 10 months. They want
it's not too bad. I mean, if you think about like
They want the
TV
Thanksgiving
series
money
thing.
because that's a big time to release a movie.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving and Christmas are like.
Why does that work so well? I feel like everybody would have no money because they've spent it all on Thanksgiving.
I don't know. People like going to the movies with their family on Christmas. We don't ever do that.
No, I like to go by myself at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah. I feel like that's like an American thing for some reason, but anyways, I haven't seen like the Wicked Broadway show, but for the last 15 years, I've been pretty familiar with the most popular Wicked songs. Defying Gravity, incredible song, just amazing. And Popular is the second.
I didn't know that was a Wicked song until I watched it.
Yeah.
And I was like, they stole this song from something.
They stole it from whatever it's known from. Other than those two songs, could you name a single other one?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, me neither. And so that makes me nervous for the second part. This first part is definitely carried by the ending. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do think some of the other songs are great, but the strength of how well Defying Gravity does really ends the first half of this movie, which is just like the play. That is how the play goes into the like 10-minute intermission is with Defying Gravity. So pretty similar feeling.
I see.
I don't know any of the songs from the second part, and I keep asking my wife, I'm like, there's no way they do not have a song as good in the second part, or I would have heard about it, right? We've heard about Popular, and we've heard about Defying Gravity. What is the other song? I think there is a song called For Good, which is supposedly a good one, but I would have heard it by now.
Yeah.
So I'm very nervous that part 2 is not going to be as good just because of that. But anyways, Wicked's pretty great. Liked it. You watched it as well, Devin. Did you like it?
I did. Yeah. I typically stay away from musicals, but I would say when I watch them, I appreciate them fully.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, dang, this can make you feel something. Because most movies don't make you feel anything.
That's true. What
some do.
What's your favorite musical?
I only know 2 musicals. Wicked and The Greatest Showman. I'm sure I've seen others.
Greatest Showman's a good one. I think the musical that got me curious into other musicals was actually a horror one. Or Sweeney Todd.
Oh, I do know that one, yes.
I really like Sweeney Todd. The music in Sweeney Todd's excellent. Kind of a violent and weird story, where Wicked is definitely more uplifting and like happy. But anyways, lots of Wicked. We also finished 2 TV shows. We watched Squid Game, second season. We'd already seen the first one a while ago. Really great. Just nothing bad to say about it. I kind of wish, I don't know. I'm totally fine watching like a dub or watching a show in another language. Watching the dub though, sometimes you're like, why did they say that? It must just be like a localization change from like Korean to American English. It's like, I don't think that character would have said that if that person was an American, but I guess it makes sense in Korean. But mostly it's just great. Super good. You have to like violence, for sure. But it's fun. It's just like a crazy game show where if you lose, you die.
I'll have to watch it.
And if you win a ton of money. So it's fun. It's a good one. That's actually only the first half of season 2. Second half comes out later this year. So you're not behind yet.
Well, I'm kind of behind because I haven't watched the first season.
That's okay. You can catch up. I think once you start it, you'll be hooked. You'll binge that baby.
Oh, probably.
It's good.
I've been watching so much Impractical Jokers and just trying to find episodes I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be working out watching that and just dying laughing.
Oh yeah, the best show.
If you can get fully immersed in that show, it is absolutely hilarious. And the things they do are outrageous and extremely impressive.
They really are.
So uncomfortable.
Even though, like, I know for a lot of these, like, reality shows, there's probably a lot of it faked, where, like, as soon as the camera cuts, they surely go to the person and say, like, I'm so sorry, we're filming a TV show, don't hate us, here's $100, you know, whatever, thanks for being on the show. Even knowing that, the things they do on that show are still crazy.
I think there's even scenes where preemptively...
You think where they might tell them before?
Yes.
They might.
I think there are some instances where it's like, that person knows something.
Mm-hmm.
Or legally they couldn't have done that without...
Yeah, that's a good point.
Telling them, like, they put that person in danger, in a way. I don't know. But fantastic.
But if you can suspend that disbelief just a little bit, even with that disbelief in the back of your head, I still love that show. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm like part of their family. It's like what I did with New Girl. I watched New Girl and then I just rewatched it because I didn't want
it to be over.
Yeah, I did the same thing with How I Met Your Mother. Ooh, did you watch the second season of Severance?
No, that is on my list here. I have 2 shows I'm very excited to watch. I don't think it is out yet.
Oh.
I think it comes out next week.
Did you see its reviews? I know you don't look at stuff.
I haven't.
Oh, well.
Supposed to be good?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, I think, Apple's most I don't know if successful is the right word. Most well-loved show. Probably that and Ted Lasso, obviously, but very pumped for Severance Season 2. Have you seen the first one?
I think I've seen a little bit of it. Is it like all in an office, like a weird office building thing?
Yes.
There's like levels to this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've seen a little bit of it, and then I think we like lost our Apple TV trial or something. I don't know.
I think I signed in with my account at Dad's, so you should be able to watch it. Yeah, really good show. It's about this idea that this company has come up with the solution to when people enter their work building. I'm sorry, I'm eating a million cough drops trying not to cough. They can no longer remember their personal life while they're at work.
And then every day this happens?
And then as soon as they leave the building, they can no longer remember what they do for work.
But they somehow know to go there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do they write that on their windshield?
It's a good point. You broke the whole show in 1 second.
I did. Holy crap.
Maybe they covered that in there. I don't remember. It's been a little bit.
That's wild. Ugh. That could get so messy. I don't know that I like that. I will watch it, but I don't know that I want to live that.
It's excellent. It was a good show.
Because people be accusing me of what I did, and I have no memory of it. I'll be like, I didn't do that. Back up off me. You know what I'm saying?
They don't do anything like too crazy at the job, but that's the main premise.
Yeah, I like that idea. Very unique.
Yeah.
I like when a show or movie does something not every other show does.
I
really, really do. I don't even know. I don't have any examples for you, but I do like that.
Yeah, one other show we watched was, I don't know how to say this since we're a family-friendly show, but it's Kevin Can Kill Himself. Kill is not the right word. And I don't think you're supposed to say the word kill on the internet, so Kevin can unalive himself.
Yeah, that works.
It's a show that was on AMC, and it only had 2 seasons. We had seen the first season already, but we watched the second one on Netflix. It has Annie Murphy as the main character.
Who is that?
She is most known as, I forget the character's name on Schitt's Creek. Schitt's being the name of the town. I'm not cursing. Sorry, everyone. Is it Allison? I think it might be
Allison.
Ew, David. That's what. That's like her most famous line. She has a brother named David in the show. You haven't seen Schitt's Creek?
I've seen some of it.
Okay.
I was thinking this Kevin show was. We need to talk about Kevin.
Oh no!
You know what that is?
Yeah.
That's got that one lady from Suspiria and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue with this one.
Anyways, very cool show. I like the premise a lot. Basically, Annie Murphy is married to this guy named Kevin, who is the absolute worst. He's like super narcissistic, only cares about himself, thinks he can do no wrong. And basically, how the show works is anytime Kevin is in the room, it's filmed like King of Queens or something like that, where there's like a couple cameras and they change around. It's a comedy. They make jokes. Everything always goes right for Kevin. He can make fun of other people, but it doesn't matter. They laugh it off, kind of thing. But then anytime Kevin is not in the room, then it changes to like a drama camera angle. I don't even know how to explain that. But like,
yeah, I need to see this.
Different colors, and people will be sad, or it'll like follow the main character whose name is for some reason escaping me at the moment. But she's been married to him for like 10 or 15 years and cannot handle it anymore because he is so narcissistic. He really is terrible. Like, you hate him from the first minute. And so in the first season, she decides she's going to kill Kevin.
Oh, shoot.
And anyway, some stuff happens. Second season, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we finished that. Quite liked it. I think she's amazing, Annie Murphy. I think she's an excellent actress. The guy that plays Kevin does a great job at making you hate him. And there is, I don't want to spoil like too much, but there is one shot in the entire show where it changes from being happy-go-lucky King of Queens vibe when Kevin's in the room to Kevin all of a sudden realizing what's happening and that nobody really likes him. And it changes from happy to the drama kind of shots that it's had for everyone else whenever Kevin's not around.
But he's in them.
On Kevin. And he immediately like snaps to like super mean and stuff. Very cool idea. Done really well. I do think that the acting from her and Kevin and a couple of the other characters are great. There are some characters that are like, meh. But anyways, it's very interesting. Not my favorite show in the world, but I'd recommend it if you want to like watch something that's unique. Because I've definitely never seen anything like it. Very unique that way. So check that one out. That's Kevin Can Unalive Himself.
Do you think if you were an actor and someone came across you for the first time in a scene, and let's imagine they paused the scene and they're just looking at your face, do you think initially they're like, I don't like that guy? Or do you think...
That's a good question. Let me stare into my own
You know what
eyes.
I mean? Sometimes you're watching a show and you're like, I don't like that guy. I don't like... And then you figure out you really do like that guy. But we like prejudge things.
I hope I make an okay impression. I feel like I don't smile enough.
I don't think anybody liked me as an actor. I think sometimes I could own it though. I think you give me a little more confidence and I'm getting up on stage and I could do anything. I think I could cry on demand, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe.
Is this how you're going to make your billion? We're not going to sell anything on Etsy. You're going to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio.
Imagine.
Excuse me. Imagine.
Yeah, just imagine if I was like way good at acting.
I've always thought that would be a crazy kind of fun life to just like, okay, for the next 6 weeks, I am going to be this fake character in this movie. And I'm going to just like commit hard.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can do it to ourselves. If I'm looking in a mirror and I'm very comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
And so
in front of others would be the hard part.
Yes, there's no embarrassment. It's like fully embrace this emotion. And I feel like I can actually do it pretty well. But when other people are involved in watching you and you're not familiar with doing that from a young age, I'll bet that can be so awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine going into an audition and they're like, really portray this scene. You're feeling this emotion and then scream at the end. I'd be like, I think I'm at the wrong place.
Yeah. Let me act like someone who's lost him.
I'm the DoorDash driver, but I forgot your food.
Yeah, that's funny. So yeah, very unique show. I would recommend it. It's
what show?
Kevin Can
it's like, what show are we talking about?
Yeah, that one. There were 2 shows I wanted to bring up because I want to watch them and they come out. Well, we talked about Severance. It comes out next week. I think the next season of Reacher comes out in like a few weeks, so I do want to watch that. That guy is so freaking jacked.
Oh my gosh, I know. When he hit me up for gym tips, I was like, this is...
That's hilarious. I saw a video yesterday with him. I didn't mean for that to come across like that. I'm trying to respond quickly after these cops.
That was funny.
He would definitely hit you up for gym tips. I saw a video yesterday of him standing next to Henry Cavill.
He's much larger than Henry.
Way bigger than Henry.
And Henry got big for Superman.
Oh, he did.
But I think...
He's a lot taller.
Richter, is that his last name?
Alan, yeah, Rickman.
He's much... Yes, he's much tall. You said what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's taller, and man, he's a thick boy.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Have you seen that movie they're in together about like...
The Extraordinary Gentleman of Warfare?
Yeah.
Is it a new one? I don't know what it's called. It's something like that. I did watch it. I have no memory of this place.
That's the line that... Excuse me. I'm just dying over here. Devin might have to take over. Yeah, I've seen like a clip or two from it on social media, and I'm like, that looks really funny, actually.
Who else is in that? I watched it like... I want to say I watched it like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Probably. But I don't know. Dude, I wish I looked like either one of them. Henry Cavill's unreal.
Oh, yeah.
What a guy.
And I feel like every woman on Earth like loves them. Henry Cavill's my wife's crush of choice.
Do you have a crush of choice, or are you not allowed to have a crush of choice?
Oh, I'll do what I want.
Yeah, he...
Except stop coughing. Can't do that.
Oh, who would he pick? This is an interesting question.
I feel like it's changed a lot over time.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, Keira Knightley, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, growing up for me, Britney Spears. Ba ba ba. Absolutely. Okay, now who?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about this in a long time.
I have.
It might be Margot Robbie.
Okay, that's a good pick. I like Margot Robbie, and I actually think she's an incredible actress.
Yeah, she's great.
I have seen some movies with her in it that aren't big blockbuster films, and she kills it. Actually, I feel like all of her movies are big. Never mind. Don't listen to what I said. I have 3. Well, I have like...
You had this answer ready.
Oh, I probably have 15.
That's a lot.
There's very pretty women in the space, and I don't know why celebrity just means actress to me, but that's where I'm going. Anya Taylor-Joy is so beautiful now. She's changed a lot over the years. Like, if you look at her from The Witch, she looks much different than she looked in Furiosa, and she's playing in some new movie with that one guy from Maverick. I don't know.
Maverick? Oh.
Yeah,
that dude that's in
that guy. Yeah. So I like her. And then, do you know who Margaret Qualley is? Gorgeous.
Okay.
And a lady named Sarah Gadon is like super, super pretty. She is in Dracula something. Dang it, I'm failing this question because I don't know what they're from and I don't know who they co-starred with.
Dracula something.
Yeah, she's super pretty. I don't know. I don't have many lists, but celebrity crushes.
Right. Because of Henry Cavill and Alan Rickman. Rick something. Reacher.
Yeah.
The one other show I'm probably going to watch. I want to see the new Studio Ghibli movie, The Boy and the Heron.
Oh, you haven't watched that?
I haven't watched that, but I think I'm going to buy it because it's on sale right now.
I have seen it.
You have?
Yes, I think.
Wow.
I think so.
How was it?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's some odd characters in that show.
Yeah, I think Willem Dafoe is the Heron. But Robert Pattinson's the Heron too for a minute.
Yes. Okay, I did see it. I won't say anything about it. I think that it was good. I think the studio pays very close attention to a lot of things. What I
love this.
Highlight in Spirited Away, this girl puts a slipper or a shoe on, and they've added the coolest detail, in my opinion, to that animated film. She puts the shoe on and then she kicks the front of her shoe, like she kicks the toe of her shoe on the ground a couple times. I do that
to get it like all the way in.
Yes, and I was like, that is so interesting. It's like that is attention to detail.
They do that with food too. Their food is always like immaculately animated. Excuse me. I think that's their newest movie. I haven't seen that one. I've seen almost all of their other movies, so excited to see that one. It's kind of crazy that the actors they get to do the American dubs too. Christian Bale, Dave Bautista, Florence Pugh, Robert Pattinson, Willem Dafoe.
Florence Pugh. Is she in Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Okay, she's fantastic. She's a fantastic actress. Is she also in Midsommar?
She's the Midsommar girl.
Oh yes, yeah. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's
that
really
little romance film with her and Andrew Garfield. Top tier.
Is it good?
Yeah, really enjoyed the dynamic between them.
What's that one called? I feel like I saw the name of it just a couple days ago.
Place in Time.
You pulled it right out.
A Way Out of Time.
Search Time Florence Pugh. You'll find it.
100%.
Yeah. Cool. That's a lot of movies, Devin. I got one. You're probably right. One other thing. Jazz, terrible this year. I don't watch many games.
I don't either, but I did see this.
You watched this one live?
No, I saw the highlights after.
Okay.
Yeah.
They announced, hey, we've got this new jersey coming out. It's our statement jersey. And I was like, oh, cool. We're going to wear it for the first time at our next game playing the Atlanta Hawks. And I was like, okay, fun. I'll watch a game. Cool jersey. A lot better than some of their other jerseys.
Yeah, I liked it as well.
Great game of basketball. Lauri Markkanen had like 8 3-pointers. He had like 36 points or something. He's amazing. Love that guy. With like 5 seconds left, Jazz down 3. Boom, nail a 3-pointer. Tie game, baby. 2.2 seconds left or something. What's the dude's name? Trae Young on the Hawks. It's like, oh, no big deal. Walks into a 55-footer or whatever that was. 5 feet behind half court. Just boom, nails it. Game over. We lose. It was very impressive.
It really was, because the fact that we hit that 3 to tie it
was nuts.
Does not happen to that team.
That's true. The Jazz are terrible. So I was like, oh, cool. We're going to have a good overtime game. Nope.
Nope. You thought.
So props to Trae Young, excuse me. It was fun to watch. So anyways, I think that's all that's new for me, Devin. I did get one board game delivery today, which I purchased like 6-7 months ago. The game was just on pre-order, so I hadn't. So I'm still on my goal. I'm not spending any money.
I was about to call you out,
but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Other than that, I think we're just gonna hop into the show. This is a weekly podcast all about board games and video games. We start and also talk about some other things from time to time. You can tell we like golf, the Jazz, movies, TV shows. Got big businesses ideas for Etsy, all the good stuff. But you can get all of these shows 3 days early on our Patreon at patreon.com/SuperGameBrothers. You can also write into the show to, kind of have a back and forth with us. We'll read your comments. You can ask us questions, all kinds of goodies. So please check us out over there. Like I mentioned at the top, we'll be backfilling episode 40, and hopefully I'll be able to get this cough under control, or I'll need to buy a new bag of cough drops. It's a new year, Devin, 2025. We haven't had a normal show in a while, so this is going to be weird. The last couple, we haven't had like any news. There's only a few items this week, but it'll be kind of fun to get back into the swing of things. So starting with our first segment, like always, is the new video games to subscription services this week. And if I can get past this golf simulator that I really want. We are going to be here. I've got the PlayStation Plus one up already, so you're good. New games to PlayStation Plus. I think it's called Essential, right? The 3 games for this month are, boom, Suicide Squad, Unalive, The Justice League. I'm going to say kill. We're not big enough that anyone cares, but Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Which is actually kind of cool. The game is supposed to be pretty good, although kind of weird. Kind of a bummer that Rocksteady, I think it's had some layoffs, and I hope that they are able to make another game at some point that is like a true single player game. This is kind of a multiplayer live service kind of game, but I could get behind like a co-op shooter in that world. I'll play as a shark.
Oh, for sure.
As a shark dude, so I was kind of excited to have this game pop up here. I know some people are like, oh, this game, but I'm excited to try it. Excuse me. Next one is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered on the PlayStation 4. That's supposed to be an excellent Need for Speed. I haven't played that one. Hey, now I can.
Wow.
And last up is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. That's a pretty well-loved indie game that I actually started. We'll talk about it in a minute. Devin, out of those 3 games, any that you would try while I cough?
I would try... I've seen gameplay of Suicide Squad.
Look cool or
I
dumb?
feel like, when did this come out? Like 8 months ago? Or
something like that, yeah.
It looked fun enough. I would like to try a Need for Speed maybe the most. Just, I used to play some Need for Speed games, and
they're fun.
They are fun. It's like an arcade version of a driving simulator, and they can be a really good time, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I think in this one you can play as the cops as well, trying to catch the people.
Too.
Yeah. Let me see if I'm making that up. Outsmart the heat or take down the lawbreakers. So
there you go.
With tactical weaponry. There you go. You got the spike strips.
Holy.
Yeah. Well, check out those on PlayStation Plus Essential. They're available now. For
Game Pass.
On Game Pass, for their Wave 1 here in January, they've got a few different
He's dying.
I am dying. A few different games here. We got available today, Road 96. I guess this was available 2 days ago on January 7th, but it said today here. It's a crazy, beautiful road trip. I don't know much about this one, but every mile opens a choice to make. Your decisions will change your adventure. So check out that. And then a few coming soon. Lightyear Frontier is out right now. That one's in game preview, so kind of like early access. Start your interstellar homestead in this peaceful open world farming adventure. My Time at Sandrock is kind of like a farming and resource gathering game. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th in that trilogy. My Time at Portia, I think it was the first one. Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. That kind of sounds like Minecraft Builder. What's that game called? Dragon Quest Builders, which is kind of like Minecraft. Complete quests, construct various builds, craft a broad range of items as Robin Hood. And try to free Nottingham. There you go.
That sounds so wonderful.
It does. Rolling Hills is next up. Serves sushi as a robot chef in Rolling Hills. A life sim about running your own restaurant in a cozy village. Then last up, Devin. What's this one called?
It's got to be Diablo. It looks like Diablo. Is it?
Sorry, second to last. We got EA Sports UFC 5 on January 14th. And then you're right. Then what's last up, Devin?
Diablo. It also looks like the Hakuna Maga guy from Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, yeah, it's Aku Aku. Or is it Uka Uka? No, Uka Uka is a bad one. It does look like Uka Uka.
Yeah.
Remember, there's the good one and the bad one?
I feel like I kind of do,
yeah. It kind of looks like that. Uka Uka. Agumaba. Love that. Cool. if you have Game Pass, check out all of those. There's some other perks like a Apex Legends pack and stuff, but those are the new games for the first half of this month.
We got one game from Epic Games.
Oh yeah,
called Turmoil.
Yes, sir.
I don't know anything about this. Do you?
A little bit. It is like a simulation game where you are trying to what's the word? What's the word when you're like mining oil? Is mining? That's not the right word. You're drilling.
Drilling.
For oil, trying to make money. Looks like it kind of has like a little comedy vibe to it too. So make sure to add that one to your Epic Games Store library totally for free.
And Prime Gaming.
And then on Prime for the month of January, they've got a bunch, like usual. Get out of here. Get thing. Okay. The big ones seem to be these here. You got Deus Ex, Bioshock 2 Remastered. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The Bridge, Super Meat Boy Forever, Grip, Ender Lilies.
Oh, Ender Lilies is on there.
Love that.
Awesome.
SteamWorld Quest. And what's that? Spirit Mancer? So let's see. The ones available now. Eastern Exorcist. The Bridge. Bioshock 2. Spirit Mancer. Skydrift Infinity. Then on the 16th, Grip. SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh. Supposed to be really good. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Deus Ex. Goaty Edition. To the Rescue. Star Stuff. Spitlings. Zombie Army 4. And then not till the 30th, which is kind of crazy because it's after the sequel comes out. But Ender Lilies, Quietus of the Nights, which is an excellent, Metroidvania game.
What a strange time for them to put that out.
It's smart. It's a smart month. I'm just surprised they didn't say, like, can we have it on January 1st or something?
Yeah, a week before the new one.
Right. Blood West and then Super Meat Boy Forever also on the 30th. So lots of games if you have Amazon Prime. Make sure to go to Prime Gaming a few times during the month to claim all of those bad boys. Is that all of them, Devin?
It was, yes.
All right. So that brings us to what we have been playing. I've been playing quite a few different video games. First up, Devin, we were just downstairs trying this. I'm on the final boss on 9 Souls. I thought I would have been done with it by now. But this boss fight, excuse me, is brutal. Pretty dang.
It is brutal.
I'm pretty good at it at this point, I feel like. I can get to the 3rd phase pretty regularly, probably about half the time or so. But man, is it hard. They want to make sure you have mastered everything. The normal parry, the charge parry, the dodge, the talismans. You're using all of your jades correctly, and then you have to like do all of those things for a solid 10 minutes almost perfectly in order to win. I'm very excited to finish this game. I think it's like my favorite game of the year. I think it's excellent. Of last year, I guess it is. But this boss fight is brutal. I'm not like to the point where I'm mad that it's so hard, because I do feel like I'm getting better at it and I'm getting close-ish. That 3rd phase, I just don't understand fully.
I had an idea for this game. I was talking to our cousin about it, and I said, it would be nice if you no-hit a phase, if it gave you the option to start at the next phase. It's like, okay, you've mastered the 1st phase. Let's let you get destroyed in the 2nd or 3rd phase, but it allows you to learn it instead of having to go through the tedious 1st phase that you destroy every time.
Yeah, that is kind of the hard part, because it takes me, 7-8 minutes of perfection to get to that 3rd phase. And then that 3rd phase is she does such different attacks. She's like flying across the screen like, I don't even know, something crazy. Whereas the 1st and 2nd phase are pretty similar. She gets more difficult to read and like does some crazier attacks in the 2nd one for sure. But the 3rd one is like, okay, forget everything you knew about the first 2. And now it's just like madness. So I don't know how to plan for that third one quite yet. It is really hard because it's hard to get there, and then you don't have enough time to even take everything in because you're just dead in half a second. But just such an amazing Metroidvania game. Love it, love it, love it. I watched some gameplay of Hollow Knight a few days ago. It popped up on my like Reels feed. I was like, man, I wish this game had a parry. I really like the parry in this game. Because I was watching some gameplay of a boss fight, and it was basically just like stay either airborne to try to avoid all the ground attacks, or it's just dodging like all over the place, which is kind of fun in its own right.
Yeah, but I like both systems. I would have argued against what you're saying before, but after having played Nine Souls a bit last week, I agree the parry is fun. It's fun to master, to fully master a fight to where you hardly take any damage or make any mistakes. With the parry system is cool.
Yeah. Here is just a brief glimpse of that third phase where she just starts zipping all around the screen. This guy does it without taking any damage. So just to pour salt in my wound. I don't even know who it is, but congrats to you, fella.
Wow, what a guy.
But anyways, really close on that one. I think I will have it done by next week, but I've been saying that for a while, so who knows? Maybe I won't. The other two games I've been playing is Coughicle 1 and Cophosaurus Rex.
That not come over.
No, just kidding. I started a new puzzle game that I've heard lots of good things about. But I was a little intimidated by it because it's kind of similar to another puzzle game that I really enjoyed but found very difficult called Return of the Obra Dinn. This one is a bit different, but this one's called what's it called? The Case of the Golden Idol. And it basically gives you a bunch of cases for kind of a snapshot in time to when somebody died. And you have to kind of investigate that scene to figure out who all of the characters on the screen are, what like their motive was, and then you have to solve kind of like this document that like says, okay, this person was here and they were the one that wanted this, and for that reason they killed this person using this. It's very cool, and it's actually pretty fun to play. This introductory one here is quite simple in comparison to I've done I think 9 of the 12, so I'm close to the end, and man, they get brutally complicated.
Is it annoyingly complicated?
I can't decide. There are some things where, okay, first thing I will say, I'm playing this on PlayStation 5. I do think it would be better on a mouse and keyboard. Because you have to use a virtual mouse with the joystick, or use the D-pad and it kind of pops you around to different items. And it's just kind of slow that way. I think it'd be better with the mouse and keyboard. And then other than that, I feel like it's a little obscure. It does have a a hint system where if you're struggling, you can like ask for a hint, but it very strongly encourages you against using them.
I see.
Luckily, it doesn't like affect the trophies or anything. You can still get all of the trophies even if you use hints. And so they do help sometimes. I've used a few. And sometimes there's like 7 or 8 different characters in one of these scenes, and you're like, I have to figure out all of their names. And sometimes you can move around the scene, like to different rooms in a building, or like move to outside and like find other clues out there and stuff. So they get very involved. And I feel like sometimes it's a little hard to connect the dots. Like, okay, I've had this happen quite a few times where I have found you have like the main thing you have to solve, which is like this sentence basically that's like, this person was here and he was here and he was here and this is their motive and they went into this room and this is how this person died. And then there are usually 2 or 3 optional things. It's like, here's all the people in the room, and I need you to fill in all their names. And here is all of the rooms in this house. And what are the names of all the rooms in the house? Or these are all of the outfits that the members of this cult wear. And I need you to decipher which of the 3 different cultist types and which level each of the different types of outfit they're wearing mean. And I feel like those things are easier to deduce than sometimes the motive in the actual crime document. Like, okay, I know who everyone in the scene is. I know what they're wearing. I know that this guy is this class and like this guy is part of this cult. But I can't connect the dots of like, okay, he's in this cult and therefore he would want to like politically upend this other cult, and that's why he went after the horse of his sister. The motive part I think is the hardest part to deduce, but very cool game. It's about this each of the cases is kind of connected together about how this I don't even know like the full story yet. It's very odd. They find this golden idol that has like magical powers, and people keep dying trying to like get it or steal it from each other, or one person uses it to convince a cult that he can fly, and so he should be like the cult leader and stuff. So it follows this golden idol like through all of these different scenarios, which is kind of like a fun story thread to go through all of them. You have to be really into puzzle games for this one, though. Yeah. Pretty intense. But cool. Very cool art style. Cool idea. You don't play a lot of games like this. So if you like something super unique, and if you've played Return of the Obra Dinn, which is an amazing one, I liked it a bit better than this one, but kind of a similar vibe, then I think you'll like this one. All right, last up for me, one we just barely talked about, actually. In the PlayStation Plus free games of the month, I started the Stanley Parable, where you play as a guy named Stanley who works at an office. It kind of gives me Severance vibes, the TV show we talked about at the beginning of the episode, to be honest. But you're like working and at your computer, and every day a voice comes on the like speaker and tells you which buttons to push on the computer, and you push them. But then one day you get to work and nobody's there, and there's like this narrator, and he's telling you to go places, and you can go there or you can ignore the narrator, and based on whether you listen to him or not, different things happen, and you like slowly uncover like different parts of this weird place you work. It's kind of odd. I think it thinks it's smarter than it is, unless there's more that I will discover later on, but kind of unique. It's kind of fun. I don't love it at this point, but maybe I will like it more after a little more play. I've probably played it for an hour and a half. So those are the 3 games that I have played this week, or a couple weeks, Devin. Any you mentioned you have played a bit of Nine Souls. Anything else that you have been playing?
I did. I played it on our cousin's account. It was super fun. The game's fantastic for anybody hesitant to play it. It's amazing. What else have I played? I haven't really been gaming. There's a new season of Clash Royale right now. A new evolution, a new card. Do you remember the giant in Clash Royale?
Yeah.
There's a female version now.
Okay.
And she holds some big hammer things. And she costs 1 less elixir. But every time you deploy her, she empowers another troop of yours. Up to 2 of them. So if you have like archers behind her, she empowers them, and now every 3rd hit the archers do is like triple damage.
Oh,
kind of cool. Very unique. She's just a tanky card that just goes after tower. And then they have made an evolution for the Dart Goblin, and it's like poison darts. But I haven't really played that game at all. I have dabbled a little bit in Rocket League. I've been doing other things.
That's good.
So not too much on the gaming.
Hey, you still played Rocket League, Little Nine Souls, and Clash. That's still playing stuff.
Yeah, still getting it.
Yeah. Cool. All right, as far as board games are concerned, I've played quite a few. Some of these I've talked about in earlier weeks, so just probably a last follow-up here about Tidal Blades Banner Festival. I had quite a turnaround with this game. Loved it the first time I played it with my wife at 2 players. Didn't like it so much at 4 players the first time I played it at 4. Played it again at 4 players and liked it a little bit more. But I just think it's okay at this point, and I don't know if that's good enough for me to keep. So this might be a purge for David, which is kind of crazy considering the first time I played it, my wife and I were like, "Wow, this seems really sharp and cool." Maybe I just need to only play it at 2 players. I'm not sure.
What percentage of games that you get do you feel like you purge? Less than 10?
Yeah, probably less than 10 usually. I research them quite a bit before I get them usually, so I usually know if I'm gonna like it or not. This one was like a crazy sale, and I was like halfway interested, so I was like, I'll take a risk. And by no means do I hate it. I just I feel like it might be too random. I'm not sure. That's Tidal Blades. Played another one for the first time called Pumafiosi, or the Puma Mafia. Has some very weird artwork. This is a game by Devin who?
The good Dr. Reiner Knizia.
That's right. And this is it's technically, I guess, a trick-taking game, but it's quite a bit different. There's only one suit. The cards go from like 1 to 55. And if you win the trick, you, well, I guess usually you win the trick if you have the highest card. In this game, you win the trick if you have the second highest card, which is a cool twist. So you don't want the highest card, obviously. If you win the trick, excuse me, then the card that you won with, you stick somewhere in this like column next to one of these Puma Mafia people, from 10 down to 1, and then the last one, the bottom's -3. And if the card that you won with is higher than the card that's already there, it bumps that one down. So you're trying to win these tricks with the second highest card, and then get those cards in positions that will hold till the end of the round to score that many points at the end of the round. But if your card gets bumped down, you lose a point every time it gets bumped down by taking these like negative tokens. And at the end of the round, you could even get more negative points by it being at the very bottom. So you gotta be careful about where you stick the card. Seems maybe a little mean. You have to be okay with that. But it is pretty short. I don't know that I loved it. Need a few more plays. Seemed kind of okay. A couple other quick ones. Played a game of Scout, one of my favorite card games ever. Continues to just be super fun. In this one, you get a hand of cards, and you're trying to get rid of all of them, kind of in Phase 10 style. But when you get your cards, you can't rearrange them in your hand. But you can, at the beginning of the round, and only at the beginning of the round, flip your entire hand upside down to the numbers on the bottom, instead of the numbers on the top, since they're different on both sides. And then you play them in sets or runs, kind of like a Phase 10. But very, very good game. As you can see here on Board Game Geek. 14th best rated family game and 99th best rated overall game of all time. Very popular one. And then one of my favorite games of all time. Played a couple rounds of this. Welcome to the Moon with me, my wife, and a couple of friends that we went on a New Year's vacation with. We've been going through the campaign, playing through all 8 scenarios in this game where you like take off from Earth. Then you have to plan your trajectory and like launch around the moon, and then build like a dome on the moon and burrow down into the moon to mine resources. The 2 that we played were, I think, mission number 6, which I think is my least favorite of the missions. It's the one where there is a virus that breaks out in your like moon base, and it starts to take over, so you have to quarantine different sections to try to make sure you don't, I don't know, the virus doesn't take over all of your potential for scoring points. We also played, I think, the one, right before that, where you have to build the dome. Those were the two we played. I like the dome one. Number 6 with the virus is definitely not our favorite, but very unique in like how different it feels to the others. Just an excellent roll and write game. I think it's my favorite roll and write game of all time, just because it has such variety. There's 8 different games basically, whereas Welcome to Your Perfect Home, the first game in this series, is just the same scenario every time you play it, and it's still so excellent. This one takes that idea and turns it into like 8 different mini games with like a story that you can play throughout all of them if you want to. Very cool. Love Welcome to the Moon. And then we played one more little card game I got for like $10. And I wasn't expecting very much out of this one because when you look this game up, it has a word that most board gamers hate. This word. Anytime this word is used in relation to a game. Can you guess what that word might be, Devin? You probably wouldn't.
Let me think.
I guess, what's like a game you played as a child that you don't think you'd want to play nowadays?
Mousetrap.
Yeah, that's not a terrible guess. I played Mousetrap pretty recently, actually. It wasn't terrible. This is a very leading question without any hints. So,
okay.
Let's see. Where... I'm trying to think of an example.
Go Fish.
Go Fish isn't a terrible guess. The word that board gamers hate is memory. Where you have to memorize things. Like there's that game of memory growing up where you have a bunch of cards face down.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just trying to flip over 2 to match them.
The game is exhausting. I fall asleep every time after.
Board gamers hate the word memory. And so this game has a slight memory. Well, not slight. It has a memory element to it. If you look at mechanisms, matching and memory are the first 2. But man, this game is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, so good. It says 15 minutes here. You can play the game in 5. Maybe 5 to 10. We played 8 games of it back to back, and we just loved it the whole time. It's so good. Basically, I give you a hand of cards, probably 7 or 8 of them, depending on how many people are playing, and then we put 8 cards face down in the middle. You take your hand of cards, and without showing anyone, you put them in order from lowest to highest. Your goal is, if you can get a trio, that's the name of this game, which is a set of 3 cards. There's only 3 of each card in the entire deck. So if I can get 3 ones, that's a trio. And I set that in front of me. Hooray. If I get 3 trios, I win. Or if I can get 2 trios where the numbers in those 2 trios add together or subtract to be 7, which is the middle number, then you win. So you can win with 2 trios if they are the linked trio. You can kind of see here from this picture that they have like the number on the bottom that is the link, so you don't like have to do the math in your head. Like the 4 and the 3 are the links. Like the 12 would be with the 5. It doesn't show that there, but oh yeah, it does. Or if you get the trio of 7s, you win with 1 trio.
Oh wow.
But you have to put those cards in order from lowest to highest in your hand on purpose, because on your turn you do one thing. You have to reveal a card from yourself, one of the other players, or one of the 8 we put face down. So I might say, Devin, show me your lowest card. So you would show me your lowest card.
A 2.
Now everyone knows what that card is. It's a 2. We know Devin's lowest card is a 2. That is the memory element of this game.
That's not too bad.
The other thing you can ask them to do is reveal their highest card. So you can only work at the ends, which is why getting the 7's the hardest, because it's in the middle. Right. So you might have to keep track of like, okay, what is his lowest card again? Or what is her highest card again? Or you can reveal a card from yourself, one of the other players, or you can flip over a random card from the 8 we put in the middle. If I reveal a card, then I reveal another card, and those cards match, then I get to keep going and reveal one more. If I reveal a third one and they match, I get the trio, and that's how you get a trio. If I reveal two that don't match, or I reveal two that do, and then the third one doesn't match, then everyone just takes their cards back. So that's where, like, if someone asks you what your lowest was and it was a 2, and I know I have 2 2s in my hand, I know where all 3 2s are now. So I know I can win that trio, as long as somebody else doesn't, like, figure it out first. Very, very fun game. About trying to, like, bait other people. You're trying not to reveal what you have in your hand, but if other people ask, you have to. Very fun game. Can't recommend Trio enough. For $10, you can play it in 5 to 10 minutes. I really think you could play this with anyone. I think like your mom, your dad, your grandma could play this. The cards kind of look like Uno with like this cool kind of Mexican Day of the Dead vibe. Just an excellent, excellent game. I think I'll start bringing it everywhere. Just kind of like I do with Scout. It's amazing. So, played 8 games of Trio. And I think that kind of ended our gaming week. Was that my last game on my list, Devin?
It was, yes.
Cool.
And I don't have any secret hidden board games that I played, sadly.
That's all right. All right, next segment is what we are excited about. And I have a few. I'm excited to finish 9 Souls. I already talked about that. And finish Curse of the Golden Idol. And I want to finish Arranger, that other puzzle game that I'm very close to the end on. So I'm very close to the end on like 3 video games. I just need to finish them up so that I can move on to a couple of other games that I'm very excited for. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD comes out on the 16th. That'll be like $60, so I'll wait until that one's cheaper. And then there are 2 games that come out in the next couple of weeks that are 2 of my most anticipated games of the year, which we'll be talking about later in the episode. I don't think they're actually on this list here from OpenCritic, but they do come out later this month. There's Donkey Kong Country Returns. Donkey Kong Country is my favorite platformer series, I think, of all time. I think slightly better than Mario. Or I'm just more nostalgic for it or something. I love Super Mario World as well. I don't know. But 2 games I'm very pumped about. Enter Magnolia. What's it? Bloom in the Mist or Mist in the Bloom. Comes out on January 22nd. And another Metroidvania, Tales of Iron 2, with the bats as the enemies instead of the frogs. I'm very pumped for both of those. So, Devin, any video games that you're excited about playing this week?
I mean, I agree with Ender Magnolia.
Yeah.
It seems super interesting to me and looks...
I think it comes out not till the 22nd, but so we've got almost 2 weeks, but that is one I will be playing for sure. And then, yeah, January's kind of dry. There's not a ton of game releases, but we'll be talking more about those later. All right, and then for board games I'm excited about, I'm actually going to go down to the table just for a second. My cameras aren't behaving very well today, so this might not go down to the table super well, but we're going to try. Oh boy, I meant to do this one without our heads. There we go. I just got this game today. Kelp. This is a 2-player game. Very cool vibe, where one player plays as a shark, and the other player plays as an octopus. And the goal of the game, the shark's trying to eat the octopus. Octopus is trying to not get eaten, and I think like trying to eat enough stuff themselves. So how it works is you sit across from each other, and the shark player will be moving the shark around, trying to catch the octopus who's trying to hide. And the shark player uses all of these dice and some small cards in order to do that. And they'll be putting dice like up on this section. That's a very bad example. The octopus has these cool tiles that feel like dominoes and have this like what's that? Like seaweed?
Serrated edge.
Yeah, kind of. It's like bumpy. Feels like seaweed on the one side. Super cool. They will have them standing up facing them, so the shark player cannot see them. And they have different icons on them, but only one of them is the octopus. So they'll be set up kind of like this. And the octopus will be playing cards from their hand in order to move around and do stuff. Anytime the octopus plays a card, they have to reveal some of these tiles down like this so that the shark can see them. So in order to do actions, the octopus has to reveal stuff. They do have some ways to tip these back up and hide them again. And some ways to like swap some. So I guess there's a little bit of memory even in this one, where the shark's trying to remember, like, where did I last see you? And then they're moving around like this, trying to attack and eat the octopus eventually. It's supposed to be amazing. I also got the 2 mini expansions that come with it, New Pursuits, and this one called Brilliant Behaviors. It comes with like these cool rainbow dice that the shark can use, and they're like 6 or 7 different mini expansions that you can add in. Like,
and in both expansions, it's still the shark versus the octopus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 2-player only game. Where both players play pretty differently, which is like a cool vibe. Game definitely has a vibe. This is not a fancy version of the game. This is the version that you can just buy at the store. And it has like really cool pieces. The dice are like these cool colors. They're very small, but very impressed by how cool the pieces are. Comes with that cool shark miniature that Devin's like 11. Super cool. Might not be in focus that close to the camera since that camera doesn't autofocus. It's a manual focus. But yeah, very cool pieces. I love these domino things. Cool idea. So I'm very pumped to try that one. I think we'll play it in a coming day, Devin. Might not be today since I can't stop coughing. But anyways, I'm very pumped for this game. I also got... maybe I'll just pull it out real quick while we're talking about it. In the same...
Ooh, what's it gonna be?
I got...
oh, shoot.
This new stuff for Root called the Hirelings. This is every Hireling pack. I need to play Root again. Root's amazing. And these are like little dudes you can hire. They make Root a little bit better at 2 and 3 players because you can kind of hire workers from the other factions that aren't being played.
To gain their ability?
I think so.
Huh. Is that a badger? Because that's the coolest character. The badger.
This one? Yeah.
That's a mole.
Oh, mole.
Is that a badger?
Oh, yeah. Yep. That is the expansion you haven't played with. Yeah, I just got that one probably a year ago, but we haven't played Root in a while. Yeah, that's the Marauder expansion.
I saw a taxidermied badger, and that thing is sweet.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah. Also got these cool... haven't opened it yet. Wooden pieces for Pagan, Fate of Roanoke, which is another cool 2-player game that we will play soon as well. And we'll have cool pieces so we can throw away the cardboard ones. So, lots of fun deliveries lately, but Kelp is the one I'm most excited about. So, that was a little bit of a tangent, but in the games that we're excited about section, I think that was worth the extra time. All right, Devin, a few news things before we end the show with a segment on the video games we're most excited about in 2025. So let's go back to the screen, and while it's loading, I'm going to mute the mic and do a big cough real quick. Hate this cough. It's driving me nuts. Okay. So, we've got a bit of news. In video games, there are and just what is starting to be leaks galore about the Switch 2, Super Switch, whatever they're going to call it. This company, Genki, they make the capture card I have over there. They make excellent stuff for like a cheap price. They were at CES, the like tech expo last week, showing off like accessories for the Switch 2. This is like a case that will hold the Switch 2. Supposedly it's a little bit bigger. The Joy-Cons no longer slide up the top. They connect through magnets, which is kind of cool. And you can just kind of see like the general shape and design here. I really hope that when Nintendo does finally announce the thing, it has Hall effect sticks in those Joy-Cons. Because stick drift in those Joy-Cons, excuse me, is just inevitable.
Yeah, it seemed too common.
Extremely common, yeah. But, anyways, that's just kind of a mock-up of their accessories. But been a lot of those kinds of leaks. I think GameStop is like started listing some accessories as well, and there's some rumors that the thing might release as soon as April. But I think Nintendo themselves said it would be second quarter, so I don't know what's going on. I imagine they're going to announce the thing in the next few weeks, which is kind of exciting. At CES, there were a few announcements. CES is a tech kind of a expo that always takes place really early in Japan. No, that's really early in January is what I meant to say.
Japanuary.
And I think NVIDIA is probably the winner of CES, if there is a winner. They announced their next series of graphics cards. The 50 series.
Oof.
And I think the one most people are talking about is the 5070, which is the least powerful of the four. But supposedly, the 5070 is as powerful as a 4090, and a 4090 is $1,800. The 5070 is $549.
Oh wow!
So like a third in price, for similar performance, I think. And then they obviously have much more expensive and more powerful ones, but excuse me. NVIDIA, one of the biggest companies in the world. Their graphics cards are nuts. So for all the PC gamers out there, I think it says here available starting in January. That was kind of a big announcement.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always like to look at the design of their graphics cards. I own a 30 series.
Yeah.
Or 3000, I don't know.
You have a 3090, I think, right?
I do, yeah. There's massive fans in it. It's crazy. You could eat dinner on that thing, I swear.
It is big.
Yeah.
You have a big one. Excuse me. A few other things announced at CES. I think PlayStation had like a little press conference, or Sony did actually. They always do. They like talked about their electric car they're working on. But the thing related to gaming was they announced a few new TV shows and movies coming from PlayStation Productions. So the new ones here, I think, are The Last of Us Season 2. Finally has you got a new trailer and a confirmed release date of April. So a few months away for the second season of The Last of Us on HBO, which is super cool. That show is amazing. I'm really curious how they're going to handle the second game story, because the second game is huge, has some crazy things happen. Are they going to do it? I mean, there is one main spoiler twist that I will not say. The kind of the twist and the shock of that moment is that it happens extremely early in the game. I don't know if it's going to happen extremely early in this season. I'd be very surprised.
You think they'll really drag this across multiple seasons?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll really drag it. I just think they will adjust the timing.
I see.
Of things. We'll see. I'm not sure. Obviously. But that was cool. excuse me, a Horizon movie was kind of ditched by Netflix, I think, last year. But PlayStation announced that they are making one now with Columbia Pictures, who I think Sony owns. So that's kind of cool. The Until Dawn movie will finally release in April. I think it.
Is it live action?
Yeah.
I'm sure we've talked about this. My memory's just bad. Who did they cast in this? Do you know?
I don't remember. Let's take a little look. I am curious as well. Until Dawn live action movie. I click on IMDb page. Excuse me. We have these people. Peter Stormare is Dr. Hill. And then, to be honest, I don't know who any of these people are. But there's the cast. Odessa Azion, Maya Mitchell, Michael Camino, Ella Rubin, Ji Young Yu, Belmont Cameli, and Willem Vandervecht.
Huh. Fun.
So, yeah, that'll be kind of fun. And I think two other things here. PlayStation is making a Helldivers 2 movie for democracy.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think is really cool. I like the vibe of that game a lot. And then they're making a Ghost of Tsushima anime that will be coming out in 2027. Wow. So they're making a lot of stuff over at PlayStation Productions. All right. I think that's all for the CES chat. So
got a little The Last of Us peek
that's right.
here.
Excuse me, they had like a teaser of like a some kind of experiential thing they're teasing of where you can like smell the room and you point like a gun looking thing and a flashlight at like a giant television in order to kind of like have this Last of Us experience, a location-based entertainment concept. So kind of an interesting idea. I think there was
Sony's doing everything. They're making a car.
Yeah, they're always testing new stuff over there.
Crazy. I love that brand. Big fan.
Yeah, I do too. I like that they try crazy things. That was kind of a weird little thing I just wanted to bring up out of fun there. Xbox announced that I think this will be the third year that their Developer Direct is happening. It's on January 23rd. And the 4 games they're going to focus on is what's that called? Doom: The Dark Ages, which is like a fantasy kind of Doom. I think he has like a shield and a sword. He has a mace, actually. The game from Compulsion Games called South of Midnight, which I think looks really cool. And then Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And then they are teasing one unannounced game will be shown at that thing. They kind of focus on their own big games there. So that's kind of cool. January 23rd. Check that out. I don't know what that will be, but I think there were some kind of guesses on some sites that I was looking at. So you can probably see that speculation online. All right. PlayStation has announced some new accessory colors for some of their accessories. Midnight Black. If you want a PlayStation Portal, a DualSense Edge, or one of their 2 types of headsets, the over-ear or in-ear headsets, you can get them in black now. I would like to get a Portal.
So when they launched the Portal, it needed the main console to function, and now it sounds like it does not. Am I correct?
Yes, the primary use case is to stream your own console to the device. I think that is what you would still do most of the time. But there are some games that they allow you to stream right from PlayStation's cloud, and you can sync your save.
I see.
So, a bit of both, but I think it's primarily for remote play in your own home.
What a cool little device. I love handheld things. I love watching movies on a phone. I would like to watch movies on that thing.
Maybe that's what you need.
Maybe it is. If you can replace those thumbsticks, it's a super cool... It's a uniquely shaped item.
It is. I like that it's the same shape as a DualSense.
Yeah, because it already feels good.
Yeah,
but
I've heard it. It's amazing.
When Sony's talking about an exclusive handheld gaming device coming out,
one that can play PlayStation 5 games, I'm like, all right, I'll probably wait for that bad boy. But anyways, if you want those in black, they are available, I think, to pre-order this month, if I'm not mistaken, for about the same price. Oh, sorry, February 20th is when they launch. Pre-orders on January 16th from direct.playstation.com. Next up, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed by about a month, I think. I think it was in February, to March 20th. And they say to allow the team to, quote, better incorporate player feedback and help create the best conditions for launch, end quote. I think that game looks really cool.
I do as well, and I'm sure launch day is a very difficult time for game developers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have so many people playing your game, it's bound to happen that they find glitches or issues.
Uh-huh. And I think they're usually like, if we could just have 3 more weeks, this game would launch much smoother than if you force us to launch it 3 weeks earlier. So I think it's only a good thing. And February's kind of busy anyway, so I think it's good. All right. Was that all video game news, Devin, or is there one more?
There is one more piece of news about Elden Ring and Night Rain.
That is right.
Oh, I think I sent it twice. Whoopsie.
That's okay. All right, excuse me, everyone. If you're excited about the co-op online Elden Ring Night Rain, you can sign up for the public network test. But I don't think public is actually the right word, because you have to be selected. So you can sign up to potentially be selected, and then you'll be able to play a portion of the game prior to launch. And the network test will be coming out next month. So if you're excited about that, sign up for the registration starting tomorrow, January 10th. That game's going to be big. Just because Elden Ring was huge. Mm-hmm. Unless it's like a dud, but I can't imagine that it's a dud.
I can't either.
So, anyways, that was the last little bit of video game news there.
Got one piece of board game news. This looks right up your alley.
It does. This, I think is really cool. I don't know that I need another game in this universe, but in the Wingspan universe, they've had Wingspan and then the Dragon version Wormspan, which I don't have. They just announced that coming later this month is a slightly simpler version called Finspan, about fish. And I think this is my favorite of the 3 themes out of birds, dragons, and fish.
I agree.
And I like the way that it looks. Instead of going left to right, like in Wingspan, each player has an ocean map, and you'll be going top to bottom down, which is kind of a cool idea. Pretty similar in how it plays. You'll be playing fish out onto that mat, and then you'll be sending divers down, and if they go past a fish, they get to activate the fish. They also have a deluxe token pack with those cool like fish egg pieces. Really like those. So that is, what do they say here? 45 to 60 minutes, which is slightly shorter, 1 to 5 players. They're calling it medium light, which is slightly easier than Wingspan. So I'm excited about all of those changes, to be honest. I think it said here it's available to pre-order in the next couple. Oh yeah, it launches on January 22nd here on Stonemaier Games web store, I think. This game is the hottest thing in board gaming at the moment. It's number 1 on Board Game Geek. Everybody loves Wingspan, the most successful board game probably of the last 10 years. So this one is going to be a big deal. So I thought it was worth kind of showing here. All right, that's all the board game news. There wasn't really many games in crowdfunding at the moment. There are starting to become more that are going to be ending in the next few weeks, so we'll get back to crowdfunding corner in the coming weeks. All right, Devin, if you will throw me this link really quick, so I can have a video game related thing up on the screen while we transition here. One last cough. Hopefully, let's throw in a cough drop here for this closing segment, since this will be a cutout segment. I'd love not to cough for the whole thing, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that cough is relentless, isn't it?
It's crazy. It's like I'm faking it feels like, but I'm not. Devin, let me make sure our faces are on the screen. Yeah, I see us. We're right up there. Look at that. All right, Devin, we're going to end this episode of the Super Game Brothers podcast just by talking about, I think, 11 games each that are our most anticipated games of 2025. There's a lot of video games that come out every single year. And so many that I can't play or even talk about all of them, to be honest. But I wanted to highlight a few that we are super excited about. I primarily lean towards kind of indie games, so you'll probably see most of that on my list, but there are a few big ones as well. And I think Devin primarily likes slightly bigger ones, but we'll see. Anyway, so we're each going to go over our top 10 most anticipated video games coming out in 2025. And we're going to have one honorable mention each. These are like a honorable mention remaster. So if it's all right, maybe I'll start. My honorable mention remaster is one that just got delayed because it was supposed to come out last month, I think. But Croc, The Legend of the Gobos. This was one of my favorite games as like a youngling with a PlayStation 1. And so I'm very excited for this one. I do wish that this remaster had the second game with it too, because I'd be really bummed if they didn't get to that one. But hey, I'm excited to start with the first one. I can't even remember what the...
Oh, it looks so much better.
It does. They've cleaned up the resolution a little bit, made it look a little smoother. But it still has that weird... Kapow!
What a nostalgic game. Holy.
Yeah, what a weird one.
Very odd.
Anyway, so that is my honorable mention.
My honorable mention is also extremely odd. It's not about a crocodile, but it's about a lizard that loves watching TV.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the Gex trilogy. Coming out, I don't know when. This year.
I don't think there is a date yet, but it is supposed to be this year.
But just dropping on modern consoles? Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, and it's all 3 games, which is really cool.
But no remaster like Gex. Or like Croc. My bad.
Oh, I mean, technically, I think it is a remaster in that they're like bumping the resolution up to, 1080 or 1440 or 4K or whatever. But it doesn't look quite as sharp as Croc does. It definitely looks a little more pixelated.
Oh my goodness. Another nostalgia game.
Yeah.
Holy.
Do you like the first one that's 2D or these other ones that are 3D? Because I liked both of them.
I agree. I like them. The 2D one might be slightly more nostalgic in certain areas.
That Looney Tunes kind of level.
Oh,
the
man.
3D one, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good pull. All right, Devin. Now we're into the top 10. So at number 10 for me, my most anticipated games of 2025. This one is by far the game I'm most afraid of. But I loved the first one. This is Subnautica 2. And in this one, I think I might be slightly braver just because it has co-op in it. They kind of tease here in this trailer. And I think that would make a survival kind of crafting like game like this that is pretty scary. a bit more enjoyable.
And a bit less scary.
And a bit less scary, yep. I don't know why. I really, really got into the first one. It's just kind of fun. Where like you're constantly building a better submarine or upgrading it so that you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it gets scarier and scarier and scarier as you get down there. So it's kind of like this weird risk reward with building better submarines and figuring out what happened on this crazy planet. Hopefully they can capture that lightning in a bottle again. So that is Subnautica 2, my number 10.
My game has a similar aesthetic, but it's completely different. I played Journey to the Savage Planets. When was that? 2 years ago, probably?
Yeah.
What a strange game. I don't remember it too well.
Very funny.
Yeah, super funny game, really unique weapons, and like, here's number 2. I don't remember if number 1 was in third person.
No, I think it was first person.
I wonder if you're able to swap between the two, or if this is solely third person. Either way, I'm down. It looks like you're playing with friends as well.
Yep, it's co-op focused.
So similar art style to Subnautica, co-op focused, and above ground where we should stay.
That's true. Less scary, more funny.
Yep. It honestly is going to be amazing. It's called Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yeah. I loved the first one, so this is a game I'm very...
I actually didn't know you played it.
I did. I didn't finish it, I don't think, like you did.
I don't know that I finished it. I must have, I guess.
I think you did on Stream. Stream.
Scream 7.
Yeah. Next up is probably the biggest game, or most AAA or whatever, on my list. And it's mostly just because I really enjoy Bioshock. And this game is from the creator of Bioshock, Ken Levine. It's called Judas. And it looks really cool. Definitely has a similar kind of vibe, but I think it's in space, on a space station. And I'm just excited to see what they can do with a Bioshock kind of like game. But the last game they came out with, Bioshock 3, or what's that called? Bioshock Infinite, was in 2013. So this game will have been 12 years later. And they haven't made a game since. So I hope they've got 12 years of just killer energy and awesome game in here.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
Yeah, I think this one is very kind of hyped, and a lot of people are very much looking forward to it.
I'd have probably put this on my list if I'd have thought about it.
That's all right.
My number 9 is Fable. And I don't really know why. I just remember it as a nostalgic place that seemed like it was only on Xbox at the time. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And watched my friends play it. I don't think I ever actually got a hold of controller playing this game, but it looked fun to me, traversing through the forests and wherever else you go.
It did. I like the comedy vibe of Fable as well. And even in this trailer for this new one, definitely going for that vibe as well. This team of Playground Games, they make Forza Horizon, which are like some of the most well-loved arcade racing games lately. So I hope they can have a hit here with Fable as well. It'd be cool for that franchise to come back.
We've got a crossover for your number 8 here.
Oh, I couldn't remember. I was like, I swear I put that on my list too. Yeah, Revenge of the Savage Planet. I'm very excited about that one too. Kind of gives me like Helldivers vibes, just with like obviously less democracy and more laughing. And I like the quirky space vibe of like, it's like No Man's Sky, but less overwhelming and just like really silly. And the way the dude runs is just funny.
Yeah, it looks way funny.
I'm excited to laugh and play that one in May, it looks like. So that's Revenge of the Savage Planet. Is that my number 8?
Yes, my number 8 is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Ooh, the big one.
Yes, the massive game. And I think that's why it's on my list is I think anyone can enjoy this game doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can focus on the campaigns, you can focus on being a menace, you can focus on just wandering around, play with all your friends, get on the little cell phones. I'm sure this game is going to add a ton compared to the first one. It seems enormous.
It does. and it will be. Like they're bonkers over there with the amount of money and time they spend on games, and there's just going to be like so much you can do in there. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be very mature.
Yeah, it will be.
But if you like that kind of game, this will probably be like your almost forever game because you'll play it for a decade. Is this my number 7?
It sure is.
Love Little Nightmares.
Same.
It's just the right level of scary for David because I'm kind of a baby when it comes to scary things, especially scary games. I'm more brave with movies because I'm not controlling the character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Little Nightmares 3. I'm a little nervous because it's not being made by Tarsier, the same team that made 1 and 2. They're making that other horror game that kind of has a similar vibe that I forgot the name of. So hopefully Supermassive can make a really cool one. I would hate for Little Nightmares to go out on like a dud. But it looks cool. The vibe looks right.
Truly.
And I'm excited for it to be co-op focused.
That's so big.
Mm-hmm.
Making every game co-op is the right play.
It is crazy how many of these picks we've had are like co-op first.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be more common right now. Wonder why.
Yeah, I'm
because
unsure.
Even Little Nightmares 1 and 2, I think the second one, I don't even know if you can play it with another player. But I think a lot of teams and companies have been afraid to, if we make a game co-op first, if somebody doesn't have like a friend that is dedicated to play it with, then they won't buy our game. But I feel like ever since It Takes Two was like a humongous success, more teams are like okay with it. So anyways, very pumped about that one.
Number 7 for me is the, I want to say, sequel to Ender Lilies. Or no?
It's the second game from this team. I don't know. I've tried to avoid all details about it. So I don't know if it's like a sequel in the same way. It's like the same character continuing a story.
This is Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. I have not played Ender Lilies, but I have watched enough gameplay to know that I would enjoy it thoroughly.
It's great.
So I'm very excited about this coming out in, what'd you say, a week?
Yeah, the 22nd. So it's like less than 2 weeks.
Crazy, yes. Awesome aesthetic. I hope the combat and the movement is fluid and feels... I want it to feel at least like close to fast-paced like Nine Souls. That is just enjoyable. Hopefully you have those moments where you really feel awesome fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is unique in that, at least in the first one, you play as like a young girl.
But you do none of the
fighting.
And
you don't do the attacking. You like summon these spirits that attack next to you. So your character itself doesn't... I don't remember ever feeling like super like fast-paced or fluid. But
it's almost like more making a build for certain enemy or area types.
You can swap those different spirits in. Very cool.
That is Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist. Stoked about that. Number 6 for David. Let me send it over here. This looks awesome as well. This is a great pick.
Yeah, I really loved the first Tales of Iron. This is the sequel, Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. I really like the like gritty animal art style. In the first game, it was the frogs that were the enemy. In this game, it's bats. And I think it's supposed to be a bit bigger. You can go out and like hunt monsters and I think build up like a town. And it's a Metroidvania game as well with pretty difficult combat. You know, you gotta focus on dodging and rolling and attacking at the right time. Also has like a cool story. Pretty violent a little bit. The narrator in the first game is the voice actor that played Geralt in The Witcher. And I think he is also narrating this one. So it has like a awesome art, solid narrator. It's a really fun Metroidvania. The combat was really like heavy and like kind of like crunchy. So I hope that it retains all of that. And I like bats. So
I also like bats.
I know you love bats, but I think the bat enemies look really cool.
I like bats more than you like.
I think you do.
No. I see them as like miniature werewolves with wings.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen a deceased bat and gotten close to that thing, it's like a furry dog with wings. Like it's not supposed to be in this world.
Have you seen one? Wow.
I've seen one that was like in a frame.
Wow.
And they're very weird.
Huh. That one is the 28th of this month. So it's like a week after Ender Lilies. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish both of those in this month.
Amazing.
Anyways, very pumped for that one.
All right, number 6 for me. I haven't looked into this game in any fashion at all, but when I heard Metroid Prime 4, I had to go on the list because Samus got it going on. Now, these games are cool. Once again, my love for games comes down to sentimental feelings and nostalgia, and I remember morphing into a small ball, laying bombs everywhere, and trying to get through this maze of places and shooting stuff. So,
yeah, I love Metroid Prime. I had the collection on the Wii. That was Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. It's been a long time since I've played those, but I liked all 3 of them. And this game has been kind of in development hell, is what I would call it, for a while, where one team was making it, and then it got paused and scrapped and restarted by Retro Studios, who made Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And since they made that, one of my favorite platformers of all time, even though this seems like a little bit of a switch, I feel like they maybe made some Metroid before, so excuse me, I'm rooting for this one as well.
Can this be as good as the last 2D Metroid game, though?
Oh, Dread?
Yes.
I've heard that was amazing. I haven't played Dread yet.
I've only watched gameplay. It looks super, super fun.
Yeah. That's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Might not be the last time it's on this list.
I'm loving all your picks. This is number 5 for Dave here.
Okay, this one launches in like 5 days. Donkey Kong Country is like my favorite platforming series. I think it's amazing, excellent music. I don't think David Wise did the music for this one, which is a bummer, because he did for Tropical Freeze. But this one came out on the Wii, has these cool tiki villains. I'm really glad that this one is getting brought forward to the Switch, so that it can just be available in a pretty nice version forever. I'm excited to play this one. I'll probably wait a little bit till there's hopefully like a little bit of a price cut. Nintendo games don't generally get price cuts, but if I can get it for $40 instead of $60, that'd be a win.
So you've beat this with worse graphics?
Yeah, I have it downstairs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's been a long time. And I don't remember this one as much as Tropical Freeze, because Tropical Freeze is just so amazing.
Oh my gosh, Donkey Kong really is fantastic.
It is. Have you played Tropical Freeze?
At a portion. Is it the one with the polar berries like stacking ice in it at you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
All right, number 5 for me is the next game after Ghost of Tsushima, called Ghosts of Yotai. And I know nothing about this as well as most of the games I've listed. I don't know much about them, but
I like going in blind, so.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was typically not my favorite genre of game, but once I started playing it, it was absolutely beautiful. It was almost encouraging to go to photo mode and just take some pictures of your character. You had the 4 stances you would want to use. You'd want to change your stance to fight a guy with a shield or that type of thing, and they really pushed that mechanic on you. You almost couldn't take out enemies without using the proper stance.
Yep.
And so you really wanted to learn the game. I don't remember the story too well. That's just my memory. But that's number 5 for me, because I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. And the games are just like super pretty. This game's going to look amazing on the PlayStation 5. So.
You look amazing.
Oh, thanks. On the PlayStation 5. All right, number 4 for me.
Number 4 for you
is I have 2 games on this list, Devin, that I'm mad at.
Oh,
this is one of them. We'll get to the other one in a minute. So this is the last chance that this game has of being on a list for David. This game is called Little Devil Inside, and it's been being made for like a decade, and it was included in the PlayStation 5 reveal event in 2020. And now it's 2025, and it still isn't out. So I really hope it comes out this year. It has a really cool vibe. You're like this dude going on adventures, and I don't even fully know what kind of game it is. It has like this kind of strange like inventory system, and I think you're crafting and fighting weird animals. There's like this giant cat in one part. And like this cool map.
That system. Is a sweet map. Holy. I swear I've seen...
It's had a few different trailers like this, and I just love the vibe. It kind of reminds me of Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, I can see that. For some
reason. Just a weird map. I don't even know how it plays or what is going on. But I'm 2 in. But this is your last chance, Little Devil Inside. I'm not going to talk about you on a top 10 list in 2026. So, just so you know.
So true. This is it. All right, I think that was number 4 for you. Number 4 for me is going to be the next game from the makers of It Takes Two, which was fantastic and extremely emotional, and it just sent a good message. I played it with a co-streamer of mine years ago, and it was very, very touching. And we really, I feel like, bonded over the game and had a fantastic time playing It Takes Two. And so I don't imagine this game will be any less immersive and wonderful, and once again co-op, and it looks like split screen.
Yeah, I think so. And it has that cool system where if you buy the game, then you get to give your friend a copy so they can play with you,
which is amazing.
Which is so cool. I like the sci-fi and fantasy split. But
Same.
The other game was like really focused on like a mom and dad, I think, that were going through like a tough time, and that's where like the emotional impact came from. So I wonder if this one will be going for that same level of impact, but it does look really cool. I like that they just announced this last month and it comes out in March. So like
yeah, that's amazing.
That's
turnaround. What we like. Don't make us wait for so long.
4-month turnaround. That's amazing.
All right. After you beat that game, in the credits, Silk Song just starts.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
All right. Excuse me. My number 3, Devin already talked about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I love Metroid Prime. Don't really have much more to say than I already said, but super pumped about this one. Hopefully, I'll be playing it on my nice and shiny Switch 2 this year.
Oh, shoot. He already knows. He's already put that in the budget.
Yeah, can't buy any board games this year because I got to save up for that Switch 2, baby.
My number 3, we have another crossover. We don't even need to pull it up, but it's going to be Little Nightmares 3. I am stoked. Another horror genre, which is my very favorite genre by far. Co-op, cute type game.
Yeah.
Stoked for that. And then your number 2 is another crossover.
It's like we like the same kinds of games or something.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah, I'm very pumped about this one. Comes out in 10 days or so. I think Ender Lilies was probably my second favorite Metroidvania game after Hollow Knight until I played Nine Souls this last month. Excuse me. Love Ender Lilies. I didn't even know this was happening. It's actually been out in early access for almost a year. But the full version 1.0 complete release of the game is January 22nd, I believe. So very pumped for this one. I hope... I don't even know what I hope for from this game. It seems like it's a different character. So I don't know if it's continuing the same story, but I love the artwork. The piano music in Ender Lilies is just amazing.
I like how the character looks like those old time like ceramic or porcelain dolls.
Yeah, they kind of do.
Like
kind of like the Bloodborne like lady. What's her name?
Lady. The
doll that like helps you upgrade.
I feel like her name is the doll or something.
Yeah, I think it is. So I agree. I think it's really cool. I like that. It looks like they have upgraded the map system in this game because that was my one complaint from Ender Lilies. The map was kind of boring. It's just rectangles. Map looks much prettier in this one. So super pumped and only have to wait like 10 days. That's Ender Magnolia. Bloom in the Mist. It says the 23rd here, actually. So I'm not sure if it's the 22nd or 23rd.
I'm not going to take David's thunder because my number 2 is his number 1. So I guess we can kind of tag team this one a little bit if you want.
Sure. So I will jump in by saying this is the other game I'm mad at. And this is your last chance, Team Cherry. But this is my number 1 most anticipated game and has been for quite a few years. Thought it would have been out 2-3 years ago.
Oh, man, yeah.
But 'tis not. But even though it's not, Hollow Knight Silksong is my most anticipated game. I have to imagine it's coming out this year. I don't know what... I said this last year, though. Like, it's got to come out in 2023. Got to come out in 2024.
This looks so good.
It does look good.
I'm losing my mind. If they're making us wait this long and it is not way better than 9 Souls, I'm going to lose it.
It's going to be excellent. I wonder, with how much time they've been taking, they have to have been, like, putting a lot of love into it. Or, since they're a small team, I guess they could just work really slow because they've made so much stinking money.
That's a good point. They're like, we're not in any rush.
Yeah.
You guys can chill.
It will be weird to go back to one of these Metroidvania games, though, that doesn't seem to have a parry system. But the combat for Hornet does seem very unique. She fights a lot differently than like the knight.
Yeah, even the movement I saw of her traversing kind of at an upward diagonal. It's like she like shook and dashed in this weird direction.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play as a different character. I think that's a cool change.
Yeah, I agree. Hornet's awesome. And like the cool needle that she uses, which seems to have like thread
attached to it.
Can almost like grapple with it a little bit. So
yeah, maybe you can go fishing with it. You throw it into the water and dangle it in there.
Oh yeah.
That'd be sick.
Hollow Knight Fish Song. That would be very cool.
Hollow Knight Finspan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're both super stoked for that. That is a great number 1 pick for you, Dave.
Sorry about the cough, but yeah, that's my number 1.
My number 1, I also think is a great pick, but I've played like all these games and put a lot of hours into the third one, and that is going to be...
Yeah, this is a Devin game.
This is a Devin game. Borderlands 4. I'm hoping the graphics have improved slightly. I think they look pretty similar to 3 from what I've seen, but they haven't really leaked that much yet anyways. But I've never played a game... I've played a few games that you can make such a unique build to dominate everything. And the massive pool of weapons...
Almost infinite.
Upgrade. It really is. It's like you can get one weapon that's similar to another one, but the stats are slightly different and it has a different name. And crazy gun manufacturers and wacky enemies and hilarious boss fights. I don't know if you remember in the first boss fight.
That first boss fight is my favorite boss fight in Borderlands.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. So good. What was his name?
Like in the disco. Kind of the dance floor.
Yes. Oh, his name is on the tip of my tongue. Anyways. Super excited for Borderlands 4. Obviously, this will be multiplayer. Yeah. If they took multiplayer out of this, that would be outrageous.
That would be.
But I don't know anything about who the enemies are in this. I know nothing else, but I will invest a lot of hours into this game.
Yeah, I imagine so. This is like that's a specific type of game that Devin really enjoys, where you can make a build and then like ultra perfect it, like little tiny micro perfections.
Yes, I did the same in Remnant. Mm-hmm. Yes, you hop on YouTube or you just do it yourself and test it.
Yeah,
and then try to carry people through a very hard end game areas, and that's what Borderlands does very well. Is their end game. It's actually worth playing after the campaign because they'll do kind of like boss rush arenas that are extremely hard to beat.
Right.
And that's where you get a test if your build is actually good or if it's not.
Yeah.
Borderlands 4 is my number one.
Awesome.
I mean, Silk Song is right there. So many of them are right there for me. But to mix it up.
I think 2025 seems like it's going to be a pretty good year for games.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I agree.
Sorry for the cough, everybody. I've been a little bit sick, but that is our top 10 for each of us. Video games coming out in 2025 that we are most amped about. Maybe there will be some surprises. What could be a fun surprise? You got Super Mario Galaxy 3. That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
But if there isn't something that crazy, I imagine most of the games on these lists will be our favorites. We'll see. I do love a good surprise, a good shadow drop.
Oh yeah.
So
that makes you like really like a team.
Oh yeah.
Instead of like waiting on a team, they're like, just so you know, we included an entire expansion at launch. You're like, oh, thank you. Okay. I want to play all your games now.
Yep. Love that kind of confidence. I agree. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this top 10 list here on Super Game Brothers. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. That's also Devin going to do it for episode number 41 here of the Super Game Brothers podcast. That was a lot of coughing. But, hey, we did it. My computer, even though it only likes one camera being on at a time right now for some weird reason, it didn't explode. So I think everything went all right. Devin, you have any other plans the rest of this week?
No, I'm gonna get in and out in like 30 minutes, but
oh, nice, love it. Gonna get a couple of them double doubles.
Yes, sir. No, I don't know. It's Friday tomorrow. Seen all the movies I want to see. I gotta do a little bit of lifting.
Oh yeah,
and figure out how to do quicker video editing.
Yeah,
that's
we need a chat GPT to like either be or make us an assistant that can do all of our editing and make shorts and stuff. That'd be amazing.
That would be nice, honestly. Just like an AI robot. That'd be sick. Dang.
Then he could do like my actual job for me. I don't know, mow the lawn. Man. Who knows?
AI is weird.
It is. Weird stuff. All right. Well, thanks again for listening, watching. Make sure to check us out on supergamebrothers.com and patreon.com/supergamebrothers to help us keep the lights on here in 2025 as we are trying new things and trying to put content out even when we are a little bit ill. So thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next week for episode number 42. Till then.